It was the season when all the hope and promise of the past few years finally turned into reality. Teemu Tainio, Paul Stalteri and Aaron Lennon were among the summer signings that joined the trip to South Korea, where we lifted the Peace Cup, beating French champions Lyon 3-1 in the final. Edgar Davids' free transfer from Inter Milan added invaluable experience to our young side. He watched on as we beat Reading 2-0 at the Majeski Stadium. The Dutchman received a rapturous reception when he was introduced as a second-half substitute against Porto at White Hart Lane, but it was Jermaine Defoe who stole the limelight on that day with a sublime double to beat the former European champions late on. We were further boosted by the arrivals of Jermaine Genius and young Pio Lee shortly before the close of the August transfer window. With pre-season successfully negotiated and the new signings in place, it was time for the real action to begin. Our first port of call, Fratton Park, a notoriously difficult ground for us. In fact, we hadn't won there in the league since 1956.
Here's Carrick, who nearly came to Fratton Park a year ago. Tainio picks it up again, Mido. And here's a chance, and Routledge with a chance there to score on his debut.
Look, Routledge adjusts his well, but what a fantastic save.
Just a minute of added time at the end of this first half, which, though it hasn't had any goals and not that many chances, there's always, well, I found it quite absorbing. I don't know about you, Warren.
Yeah, very much so. It's been played at a good tempo.
Break off for a moment here as Mido. Is he going to get on the end of this? Yes, he is. Oh, Spurs are ahead. Mido's going to claim that, but it was a horrible mix-up.
Well, that's a little bit of fortune that Tottenham needed.
And Defoe's got in behind here. Vesterveld goes free. Defoe puts it away. 2-0 Tottenham. Jermaine Defoe, and that's what he's all about.
He's the one that reacts first. Goalkeeper getting no man's land. But look at the finish. Left foot, cool as you like, straight in.
3 points in the bag and no goals conceded represented the perfect start for the White Hart Lane faithful, who were about to see Edgar Davids make his Premiership debut against Middlesbrough.
Davids, Mido, did he get a nudge? Advantage played. It's good work from Davids, looking for Defoe, away by Southgate. Here's Mido. Davids has lost that shin pad again, continues to play. It's Edgar Davids. Tainio's touch, back for Carrick! So nearly, so very good.
Davids at the hub of it all. Read into Davids. Level little ball out to Tainio, the lay back to Carrick, and a thunderous shot.
The Middlesbrough manager has decided to come down from his vantage point in the stands to adopt a more hands-on approach. Tainio now. Defoe. Still it's Defoe! What a terrific goal from Jermaine Defoe! It's taken him just over 3 minutes in this second half to show Sven-Göran Eriksson and White Hart Lane that he is firmly back in business.
What a strike. And he's a long way out here. But he really thumps us. What a strike. Swartz had no chance. Tremendous power in this shot.
Morrison now, this is Viduka. Two substitutes combined. Reisiger for Parla. Davids in strongly, and it's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. Trying to manoeuvre into position here, Ray Parla, maybe get a shot at goal.
It's Downing. Oh, terrific save. England's #1 with a tremendous stop.
Yeah, he's got Robinson scrambling across the goal here. Maybe not the power in it, certainly the accuracy.
Viduka, well, that's a good hold-up play. Oh, just into the roof of the net. So close for George Boateng.
Love the little weighted pass from Viduka. Oh, that's a great chance. Similar to the Hasselbank one earlier.
There's always danger when Defoe gets on the ball, even though there's still plenty of work to do. He'll enlist help from Mido. Goes through the legs. Oh, and it's spilled! Through the legs first of all, then through the arms of Mark Schwarzer. And Mido puts Spurs 2-0 up.
Oh, this is a terrible blunder by the Aussie keeper. Terrible. Defoe once again. Is he going to do something special? No, rolls it to Mido, and he doesn't do anything special. Oh my goodness. An awful blunder. 2-0, possibly game over for Middlesbrough.
Victory at Blackburn would have taken us to the top of the table, but we began the match with Edgar Davids, Jermaine Defoe and Michael Carrick on the bench. Davids came on as a second-half substitute and was crudely challenged by Lucas Neal. The Australian was sent off in a bad-tempered game with little goalmouth action. We created all the early running in a top-of-the-table clash against Chelsea at White Hart Lane until Mido was sent off in the 24th minute for this clash with Asier Del Horno. Del Horno recovered sufficiently to head in their opening goal shortly before half-time. And Damien Duff certainly enjoyed a spot of fortune with this second in the 71st minute. Jermaine Jenas made his first appearance for Spurs in a bizarre game of disallowed goals against Liverpool. In the 61st minute, another new boy, Grzegorz Raziak, thought he'd scored on his debut, but his celebrations were cut short when Michael Carrick's corner was adjudged to have curled out of play before the Polish international headed home. Eight minutes later, Peter Crouch, who spent his formative years at Tottenham, thought he'd scored his debut goal for Liverpool when he headed in a Steven Gerrard corner. Incredibly, it was ruled out for exactly the same reason, and both sides had to settle for a point.
Yeah, I really thought it would be a trendsetter, you know, and maybe after that a lot of linesmen and referees would do the same. But the strange thing was that after that game, you know, that happened twice, and after that I haven't seen it anymore.
Aston Villa was still reeling from a 4-0 defeat to West Ham when David O'Leary welcomed Martin Jol and his former Republic of Ireland teammate Chris Hughton to Villa Park. We were still unbeaten on the road, but hadn't scored in our last 3 outings.
It's carelessly given away to Barros. Hull played it square. Milner fancies a crack. Oh, what a strike! And what a home debut goal for James Milner. What purity of hit. It fair skidded past the keeper, who's yet to handle the ball, and Aston Villa are 1-up inside 4 minutes.
That was the good play. Barros looking up, keeping composed, and Milner having the strength of mind to try a shot. Didn't have to beat the defender, he decided to shoot before the bodies could get to him. Fine start for young Milner.
Milner again, real shot, oh what a save from Robinson. Tottenham really are living on the edge of going under here, and but for the terrific reflexes of the England goalkeeper, they'd be 2 behind. Gardner, Reed, Lee going long for Defoe. Nolberg has allowed it to bounce. Defoe has appealed for handball, and Steve Bennett has obliged, awarding a penalty against Baumer. What do you think, David Pleat?
Well, Defoe got the wrong side of him. I think he just moved his arm towards the ball there, the top of his arm.
And Jermaine Defoe has a heaven-sent opportunity to equalise for Tottenham Hotspur. Defoe. Oh, it's a good save from Sorensen. Went the right way. And there was insufficient power, and it was within reach.
Well, he did very well, Sorensen. He went low, it was kept low, it was driven hard. And I think there's a certain amount of relief, particularly by Baumer, of course. That's a bit of fortune for Villa.
Ridgewell forward and Melberg, and Ridgewell against the bar, and again! And Robinson palms it away.
When that ball came in, you had to fancy Ridgewell there. Did Robinson touch that first ball? He certainly touched the second one.
Oh, what a moment for young Ridgewell. Oh, what a hit that was too! And Steve Bennett now comes to Aston Villa's rescue. Jermaine Defoe having rattled the frame of their goal.
He took it with his left foot, didn't he, quickly? I mean, let's be honest, he should have scored that goal.
Keane looking waspish and lively as usual. Dad through for Rasiak, over the top for Defoe, beautifully taken, but then he's crowded out. Keane came to get it and finished. Splendidly sharp work in the box from Robbie Keane, and see what it means to him as an individual and Spurs as a team.
Well, Villa messed around. They could have got the ball away. It was Defoe there that was fiddling with the ball. Good play there by him, Keane, as he got forward onto the ball. Good anticipation. See him move forward onto the ball. He wants to score. There he nicks it. There he gets the angle and drifts the ball lovely with his right foot past Sorensen.
Aston Villa remain unbeaten at home. Tottenham remain unbeaten away from home, courtesy of their clever little Irishman, Robbie Keane.
Fulham's visit to White Hart Lane followed a disappointing last-minute defeat to Grimsby in the Carling Cup, but we at least had the consolation of knowing victory here would lift us to 4th in the Premiership.
Well, there's no offside, and there's an opening goal here, taken in typical Tottenham fashion by Jermaine Defoe.
Well, I just couldn't believe that Defoe got in so easily here. And he's timed his run. He has been criticised in the past for maybe going a little bit too early. Mido's actually in an offside position. He's coming back into an onside position. And Defoe straight onto it, hits it down into the ground, steers it away from Tony Warner with his left foot into the corner of the goal. It's an excellent finish. I think defensively, if you're Fulham, you'll be asking questions. I think the fact that Mido just stayed in that offside position dragged Zach Knight back slightly, and Defoe took full advantage.
Klaus Jensen. Mal Brock. Klaus Jensen again. Oh, he's hit the bar. He scored a stunning goal in North London earlier this season at Highbury, and here he is at White Hart Lane, so close to levelling it up for Fulham. Frustrating for Chris Coleman. Davids. One of those games where you feel the next goal is absolutely crucial. And you can't really tell at which end it's going to come. But here's Lennon trying to supply it for Spurs. And Warner, who would have been annoyed if he'd been beaten on that side, still had to work hard to keep it out.
Yeah, it was all about the first touch. Took him straight inside, the gap was there, drove forward, drives down on the ball and the near post. It was certainly going in. It's a great save by Tony Warner down to left-hand side.
I think it helped me a lot, to be honest. At the time when, Mr. Redknapp, he said to me, "Do you want to go out on loan?" Well, he didn't actually say, "Do you want to?" He said, "You're going out on loan." And it was just after I made my debut for West Ham in the Cup when I was 17. When I went there, it was only supposed to be for a month, and I actually stayed there for 6 months. So what happened there, it was great because I just wanted to go there just to get some experience and toughen up on that. Me and Ledley are quite close because obviously I played with Ledley with the 21s, and Ledley grew up in East London. I grew up in East London as well, and when we go away, we're always together, and I'm always trying to wind him up and things like that because he's so cool. It's easy to talk to him. You can have a laugh with him. He joins in training. It's great, and it's good when a manager's like that, because you can talk to him, especially as a young player as well. It's easy to talk to him, things like that, and he just wants us to do well. We've got a young team, young squad, and he just wants us to do well. And you can tell, you can see that when we've won games and we've played well. He's proud of everyone, so it's nice. Yeah, I think it's changed. With the players that's come in, and I think one person that springs to mind is obviously Edgar Davids. Someone that for Edgar, he's played in major competitions. And he's a massive name in football. So for someone like that to come to a club like this, you know, for the fans, for everyone, you know, it's great, and I think it, you know, it will attract more great players. Probably John Terry, you know, physically, you know, he's so strong, you know, throughout the whole game, 90 minutes, he's always concentrating, you know, and he's just a great defender, you know, he loves defending, and you know, when he's on the pitch, you know, playing against him is difficult. St Lucia, that's where my grandparents are from. In the summer, I always try and go back and see them. You know, in the Caribbean, you know, so nice, just a place where you can just chill out, quiet, everyone's so nice. I would say Pele, but I don't think he'll pass to me. So, probably say Maradona. You know, I suppose he'll just get the ball, take on the whole team and just roll it to me and I'll score. No, but yeah, I'll probably say Maradona, you know, for me, one of the greatest players to ever play the game. You know, he's balanced and it was just unbelievable.
At the start of the season, Ledley King visited the dilapidated White Hart Lane Community Sports Centre, which was about to undergo a major facelift.
I'm sure it will attract loads of attention, and you know, kids from all over, you know, will be looking to come over here and participate in sports. You know, I'm sure it will benefit, you know, the community as a whole and Tottenham as a football club. If you look throughout the Premiership, you know, you'll find lots of players that have come through, you know, the youth system, and you know, that's a great way. You know, I think the fans enjoy a player who's come through the youth system, and it can happen, you know, if the facilities are there.
3 months later, thanks to a £600,000 cash injection from Barclays and the Football Foundation, the centre boasted a completely refurbished AstroTurf pitch, 4 resurfaced tennis courts and new floodlights. Martin Yole, Michael Carrick and Michael Brown were at the official launch with some of the local children who hope to put the new facilities to good use. Back to the action and a trip to Charlton Athletic, who'd won 5 of their first 6 matches of the season, largely thanks to their prolific striker Darren Bent, one of several players Sven-Göran Eriksson had come to see.
Back across to King! That's an excellent chance for Ledley King. I think he's just a little bit hurried. He'll win the header on the far post, he's headed back. A little bit fortunate the way it bounces down to him in between his legs. And really, he's got to be hitting the target.
The turn from Ramadal fell short and the pit bull pounced. Young. Murphy, the flag stays down, he's onside for Bent. Goal!
That was the danger. Hold that high line at your peril, and Darren Bent pounces. They'd already had 2 or 3 warning spurs, and now Darren Bent's in for the first goal.
They tucked it away. This is Aaron Lennon. Thomas. And again, Bent has timed his run to perfection. Bent! It looked as though the chance had gone by, but he retrieved it, and in his usual deadly fashion, Darren Bent has finished it off again. Pedro Mendes kick. Mido on King! More by luck than judgment, gets it home. Hardly the cleanest finish, but Spurs will take anything at the moment, and they've got the goal. To Lennon. Tenio just steers it to Mido. They've done it! Back from 2-0 down to 2-2.
That's a great strike on the angle. Charlton really should have cleared their lines though. A couple of times the ball broke, they didn't clear it. Eventually found its way to Mido, left side of the penalty area. Didn't have much of an angle, but the pace and the power of the shot beat Henderson. All ends up
Thomas, who's won it back well. Powell, now Murphy. Bent is still down in the middle, but in the meantime, oh! How did Luke Young miss it?
It's a great chance. That was a wonderful pass from Murphy, which took 3 Spurs players out the game.
Headed by Tainio. It's going to fall here to Powell. Challenged by Lennon. Even though Mido's been down for a long time, Spurs haven't played the ball out, and they're not going to now. Defoe has a sight of goal. If he can slip Keane in, he has! The incredible recovery is complete! Substitute Robbie Keane scores for Spurs, who've come from 2-0 down to lead 3-2.
You're right, it's absolutely incredible the way this game has changed. Chris Powell loses it at one end on the edge of the area. Aaron Lennon breaks, hits the ball up to Keane. He brings Defoe into the game, brings the 2 defenders close together, comes out to the side. Good ball by Defoe and a super finish by Keane.
First half, we gave Bent a lot of space, you know. We tried to keep a high line. He wasn't offside. He's moving very good. And the second half, I can remember Robbie Keane coming on. Mido, I wanted to take Mido off, but then I made a decision to put him on the left. Mido was on the floor. Maybe you can remember that. They didn't kick the ball out, you know. It was very awkward. Lennon regained the ball, and we scored the winner. So we punished him in a way. Everybody was talking maybe about decisive goals in the final minutes, and we had 4 or 5, and there's no excuse for that. But there was a lot of times, you know, that we came back into matches and we showed our character.
5 months after qualifying for the Champions League, Everton were rooted to the foot of the table when they walked out at White Hart Lane.
Kept in by Lennon. Cross from Lennon, Dawson! Terrific save by Martin! And Kilban is on hand to clear the danger. Point-blank save by the 39-year-old to deny Spurs. In by Carrick again. Martin thought about coming. Is that blocked off the line, I think, by Nuno Valente? Well, the header was from Dawson.
Yeah, he comes in with such power there, and this is what he's on the line for. He doesn't know too much about it.
Lennon. Let's listen to the murmur of excitement when he comes forward. Stalteri alongside him to provide support. Back for Genus. Looking for Mido! 1-0 Spurs! The breakthrough comes from the Egyptian. And Spurs lead by 1-0.
Good work again here. Great ball in, first time by Jermaine Jenas. And that is a fantastic header there by Mido.
56 minutes and 40 seconds from number 15, Mido.
Defoe now. And it's in. Jermaine Jenas with the goal. It's his first for Spurs. It's the second of the afternoon. And surely now victory is assured.
He's answered a few people as well. Jermaine Jenas, absolutely delighted for him. Not known for his heading ability, but take nothing away from what Defoe does. Again, he's positive, he runs at people. Great little ball into an area. And that's a collector's item for Jermaine Jenas. Defoe, positive again, gets it onto his right foot, puts it into an area. And that's a lovely little glancing header.
The trip to Old Trafford gave us the chance to prove we were genuine European contenders and dent Sir Alex Ferguson's hopes of catching Chelsea in the title race.
Lennon, he's dancing away. Rooney, huge sense of anticipation, and no wonder really as Wayne Rooney charges through, and Michael Dawson in his way. But there was plenty of experience here because he knew that Rooney had got the better of him. There you can see that very little contact, but enough for Rooney to go to ground.
Scholes floating it in, and Van Nistelrooy and Silvestre has prodded it in, and that will do for starters for Manchester United.
Well, the free kick comes in from Paul Scholes. It's a header from Ruud van Nistelrooy, which really should have been taken comfortably by Paul Robinson. It's an uncharacteristic error from the England keeper.
And now Alan Smith looking for a second. And Robinson this time is up to the task against his former Leeds teammate. 6 clean sheets in 9 games in the Premiership coming into this match at Old Trafford.
This is the movement here from Alan Smith. Clips it over the head of Ledley King. One touch, strikes it early with his left foot. And that's better from Robinson.
25 journalists from South Korea here today watching Yi-Sung Park for Manchester United and Lee Young-pyo for Tottenham. King. Mido. Jermaine Defoe from range. Oh, and Edwin van der Sar with an important touch. As it turned out, it was awkward for him.
Strikes it with his right foot. And it's a brilliant save this, you know, because it's not an easy one for van der Sar.
Scholes, Rooney, delightful touch. Van Nistelrooy, brilliant block from Michael Dawson.
Absolutely delightful little flick, wasn't it, from Wayne Rooney to actually execute it. Fantastic vision, knows exactly where Van Nistelrooy is. But what a tackle this is from Dawson.
Keane. Carrick. Defoe, foul by Ferdinand. Free kick in a terrific position.
Good ball into the feet by Carrick. Real Ferdinand comes through the back of Defoe.
Jermaine Genius standing over it. It's Genius, and it's a fantastic strike. Jermaine Genius, and Tottenham have equalised at Old Trafford.
Look at Van der Sar. He's motionless. It's brilliant technique. You can't fault the keeper. It's unstoppable. Gets it over the wall, just underneath the crossbar, a foot inside the post.
And so to the most eagerly anticipated fixture of the season for any Spurs fan, the visit of Arsenal to White Hart Lane. Jermaine Genius started his first North London derby, while Robert Pires, who scored 7 goals against us in just 11 matches, had to make do with a place on the bench.
Here's Stalteri. It's a foul by Gilberto.
Quite clearly a foul from Gilberto in the back of Lennon.
It's Carrick's kick. King! And he is the king of North London, for the moment at least.
Well, Arsenal have paid for giving away that free kick. It's a lovely flighted ball from Carrick, attacked by King, unstoppable the header. He gets real power behind it, heads it downwards. It's unstoppable. Lehmann tries his best, but it absolutely flashes past him. The power of the header.
Gilberto. Dawson steps in. It's Carrick. It's Defoe. Genius wants it pulled back and hits it! What a shot and what a save!
It was a brilliant effort from Genius. Not an easy ball to hit when it's coming across the body. He knew he had to hit it early because Ljungberg was about to put a tackle in.
Defoe has freed himself. Genius! Oh! Well, the sort of form he's been in lately, you expected to see the net bulge then.
but he just couldn't get close enough.
Clever work this from Defoe, totally bamboozles Torre, plays it low and hard across the box. There you see Genus, I think he miskicks it.
Bergkamp has threaded it through, and it's Freddie Ljungberg! Good save!
Well, there's a lot of confusion around White Hart Lane because there appeared to be a foul, and also the ball appeared to be out of play. Bergkamp played to the whistle. Ljungberg strikes it firmly with his left foot. Terrific one-handed save from Robinson.
And Lauren seemed to have hold of Defoe's shirt then. But he's kept it in and he's escaped. Torre sticks out the leg, but Defoe goes on. That's a great save.
But certainly this run from Defoe was quite brilliant. Gets away from Lauren, comes on the inside of Torre, who lends out a leg, could easily have gone over Defoe. He keeps his balance, one-on-one with Lehmann.
Perez. Nice link up, it's Van Persie. Good save, he's got a strong hand to it.
This is a quite brilliant save from Paul Robinson. The key to it is he doesn't see it too late. Just look at the reaction.
Bergkamp's header, now Reyes. Stalteri dived in. Well, Spurs' goal was from a free kick. Can Arsenal reply in kind? And how controversial would it be if Sol Campbell got his head on the end of this Bergkamp kick? Robinson's lost it and Perez scores! Salvation for Arsenal! It's on a shed in the 150th North London derby, but for around an hour it looked as though Martin Jol might end Arsenal's 12-match unbeaten run against Spurs.
I think if you want to be a top side, you have to win your games against Man United occasionally, or Liverpool, or Arsenal. But I think that was probably our best half of the season, you know, the first half against Arsenal. And then it was a free kick situation again with Perez, and he scored. And that was a disappointment, you know.
There was further disappointment up at the Reebok Stadium at the start of November, where Bolton again proved a very difficult nut to crack. Kevin Nolan scored the only goal of the game in the 32nd minute, a stunning strike which gave his side all 3 points. Back at White Hart Lane, selected fans were invited to the Bill Nicholson suite for a very enjoyable question and answer session with Martin Jol and goalkeeper Paul Robinson.
I read an interview a few weeks ago. You said on a copy of an interview you gave in a Dutch magazine where you'd stated your ambition to be Spurs manager quite a few years ago. Can I ask, what was it about the club that attracted you at that time? Considering, you know, you played in England, you never played for us, you never played against us. What was it about the club that made you want to be our manager so long ago?
Normally, you know, and I said it before with Edgar, for example, everybody tells you, even Paul Robinson tells you that Tottenham Hotspur is his favourite club when he comes to the club. And everybody knows he's lying, but and then it's still embarrassing to say, no, when I was 10 years of age, I liked Spurs because of their dress, because of the players they had, because of their style of play. And I think it was then, in the 60s, probably the best club in Britain. So that was easy. And in 1999, I said in an interview, if I would go to the Premiership, I would like to go to Spurs. So everybody can check that as well. So it was not a joke. So it was in my mind all the time. The only problem was that Frank asked me first to be the head coach, and then he said, yeah, well, we need a big name, so then they get another fellow in, and it was okay with me. Because I knew I only had to wait to January.
My question is just generally related to the first team. Who is it that makes the decision to attack Paxton Road second half, or is it just because you like standing in front of the Park Lane in the second half?
Yeah, if I'm captain, I like to go there second half, but there's more pressure on me because I have to have a clean sheet or else they don't sing my name as loud. I think it's just the way that the club's played for a long time. There's no particular reason for it. I mean, if we're winning and doing well, I think the only team that's beaten us here for a while is Chelsea. And we seem to be winning and doing all right. You know, we don't change it, try and change what's working.
One thing that has been discussed quite a lot, there's a theory that whilst you were commended, and quite rightly, for the way you handled the Old Trafford incident, and you know, the other night at Bolton we were cheated really because Jermaine scored a legal goal. There is a theory that whilst it's wonderful to be very decent about accepting these decisions, that if you get a little nastier, a la Ferguson for example, then sometimes officials start leaning a little bit more our way. What's your thoughts about that?
Yeah, there's two things, you know. What you can do on television, you keep your dignity, and what you do in reality. And I went to him and I said to him, can I tell you, can you say in England that you're a And then he said, no, of course not, you can't say that. I said, can I think that you're a And he said, you can think whatever you like. And I said, I think that you're a
Michael Carrick was one of several players to face their former clubs as West Ham travelled across London to White Hart Lane. Spurs legend Teddy Sheringham started up front for the Hammers. Jermaine Defoe had to settle for a place on the bench as Martin Jol opted to partner Mido in attack alongside Robbie Keane.
Dawson. Mido's onside, he can loop it in here. Tottenham lead. Trajectory of the header.
Dawson just puts it into an area. Mido there just has a little glance and it's a deft touch header. Shaka Hislop is in no man's land. Dawson knows what he's doing, puts it into an intelligent area. He just cushions the header, just lobs it lovely over Shaka Hislop into an empty net.
Well, it is now or never for West Ham United here at White Hart Lane today. Deep into injury time. In fact, the 2 added minutes that Alan Wiley had said was the deal. Here comes Shaka Hislop, trying to make amends for his part in the one goal of the game. And it is a goal. Anton Ferdinand. West Ham have done it right at the end.
Wigan were becoming the surprise package of the season, and our first ever trip to the JJB Stadium gave us the chance to make amends for conceding that late goal.
Lad must have come close to handling that before it went out of play. Such was his enthusiasm to take an early throw. An awkward touch. Here's a chance. Robbie Keane. After a defensive error from Arian Desire. Spurs lead.
Here it's a ball just put into an area. Gazoo's got plenty of time, he's just done by the bounce, but there's only going to be one result. Robbie Keane, great little touch, side foot into an empty net. It was an awful mistake, but when Robbie Keane gets into positions, he's bided his time, he's been patient, and he tucked that away. He's a class finisher.
Honcho just lost his footing. Edgar Davids. Still Davids, Mido made some space for him, and Edgar Davids scores a superb goal. 2-0 to Tottenham, his first in English football, and Wigan are on their way to back-to-back defeats. lost 2 points late on against West Ham last week. Surely the same can't happen. Here's McCulloch. That's one back.
I said to you, they won't give up. They always put balls into certain areas. They are patient with the ball. They get a little bit fortunate. It's a great strike across the goal. That's all he can do is pull it into the path of McCulloch, and he tucks it away.
It's victory for Tottenham. Edgar Davids' first goal in English football sees Martin Jol celebrate his 50th game in charge of Spurs with a win that lifts them to within a point of Wigan in the upper echelons of the table.
We kicked off December with a home game against Sunderland, who looked to be heading straight back to the Championship after 7 straight defeats. Robbie Keane was about to heap more pressure on his former international manager Mick McCarthy, but it didn't all go our way.
Green looks for Stead. And the free kick is awarded away of the Sunderland striker. Your body's committed to the box. Oh, what a tremendous strike! Dean Whitehead with a brilliant goal for Sunderland. And against the odds, the side who are bottom of the table have the lead.
Well, goalkeepers just don't save them. It's got everything. It's moving all over the place. And the most important thing, it's got pace. Paul Robinson minding the other side of the goal. He's moved his feet quickly to try and get across. But it's the pace of the ball that's beaten him. A wonderful free kick.
Stalteri again, back to Robbie Keane, well worked by Spurs, this is inviting, and it's 1-1. Mino levels it up for Spurs.
That's a terrific ball in, but I think we'll see that it's Collins who loses Robbie Keane in the inside right channel. Very patient build-up from Spurs. Keane plays it in, he's in behind Collins, Collins comes into the central area, Keane's got time to get his head up. Perfect delivery between goalkeeper and last defender, and it's a simple tap-in.
Mino might come for Robbie Keane, and it's bundled in by Robbie Keane. There's the second goal for Spurs. There's the trademark Robbie Keane celebration. And it's only taken just over 5 minutes of this second half for Spurs to find the second.
Well, it's the anticipation of Robbie Keane, because he's anticipating that Mido's going to win the first ball. And Mido helps it into a horrible area for Sunderland to defend. Collins caught, I think Collins thinks Anik's going to come and take that cleanly. This might have been handball from Robbie Keane as he gets in behind Collins here. Well, it's appeared to brush his right hand. I don't think the referee can call that.
The concern for Sunderland would surely have been that when Spurs got the second, the heads would go down. That hasn't happened. Great Latalek! They've done it! Anthony Latalek for Sunderland. It's 2-2.
Well, again, it comes from Andy Gray, putting pressure on Dawson. What a good finish. One touch was enough as it comes forward. Gray leaning into Dawson is a miscontrol, but it sits beautifully there for Latalek. And he's coming on to it. He's got a chance to have a look where the goalkeeper is. Back across the keeper. And he's found the inside of the far post. Remarkable stuff here.
Collins, and it's straight to Tainio. Now Keane. Here comes Aaron Lennon, and he has got space to burst into. Robbie Keane looked to flick it beyond Breen, and it came off the hand of Gary Breen, and Spurs have a penalty kick. Now Breen has already been booked, so does he deem it as deliberate?
Well, my first reaction, Bill, was that it did hit his hand, but it was more ball to hand than anything else. Robbie Keane just dinks it up. I don't think that's deliberate handball there at all from Gary Breen.
But Robbie Keane, who was about to be taken off by Martin Jol, steps up to take the penalty. He earned the penalty kick. Oh, what a save! Ben Anik pulls out a world-class save to deny Robbie Keane.
That's at the very top drawer, because it's a terrific penalty from Robbie Keane.
The 11th corner for Spurs. Sunderland yet to have one. Carrick and Lennon go for the same ball. This is Michael Carrick! Michael Carrick's first goal for Spurs! They're back in front. 3-2 to Tottenham.
Well, I think the problem is that Sunderland don't get out in the wide area when they're trying to push out. They don't get out in the wide area, nobody getting out in the left-back position. And it could have been Lennon or Carrick. Not convinced that Carrick's trying to score, they're trying to get that back across the face of goal. And it's just Fox Collins who's at the back post.
A giant roar about White Hart Lane. Michael Carrick has won a pulsating match for Tottenham Hotspur. His first ever goal for the club ensures Martin Jol's best ever start to a Premiership season for Spurs.
During the season, several lucky junior Spurs members won the chance to watch training and interview their favourite player at Spurs Lodge.
Hi, I'm Ross Kincaid and I'm here today at Spurs Lodge to interview Michael Carrick. What did Spurs show you that made you want to join us?
Just before I was going to sign, they signed a lot of young lads and English players, and there was a big thing about going positive for the future, and I really just thought it was a good place to come and improve and learn, and it would be a good thing for my career, and it feels like I've been here a lot longer than I have done, so I'm just enjoying every minute now.
What is Martin Jol like to work with?
Yeah, he's good. He's just like you say on the telly, you know. He's an honest guy, and he comes around and he's a winner, and he wants us to be winners, and I think the fans have taken to him quite quickly, and he's taken the club forward.
How does the atmosphere rate playing at White Hart Lane compared to the other great stadiums you have played at?
Yeah, it's a special atmosphere. It's the best one was the Arsenal game this season. Was the atmosphere, especially the first half, was something special, and the lads really appreciate it when the fans get behind us, and the away support as well has been fantastic. I think we took 6,000 to Wigan 2 weeks ago, and the lads really appreciate that.
With so much success in your career, what do you regard as the highlight so far?
The highlight would be playing for England. I think probably obviously playing my first game for England, but then my first start and going to America in the summer was a big thing for me, because that was part of the reason I came to Tottenham and in the first place was to get back in the England team. So to do that was a good feeling.
What did it feel like to score your first goal for Spurs?
It was a relief. It's been a long time coming, but I was glad that it was an important goal, and it was worth the wait for me to score against Sunderland and get the winning goal. It was especially doing it at home in front of the fans. It was a good feeling. Some people said it was a cross, but I don't agree with that.
Now you've played in the Premiership, is it as you imagined?
Yeah, it's better than I imagined. Yeah, it's, when you're young like yourself and you're watching football and you're seeing people performing and the atmospheres in the stadiums, it's something that I was desperately be a part of, and now to sample it and play it in for a few years, it just keeps getting better and better, and hopefully it will do that for the future.
Thank you, Michael. Can you sign my shirt, please?
Of course I can, mate. Right, anyway.
Okay, thanks.
There you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Portsmouth had won just 2 matches all season and were second from bottom when they arrived at White Hart Lane. But chairman Milan Mandaric had returned to his messiah, Harry Houdini Redknapp, who was taking charge of his first game for Pompey since controversially walking out of the club for rival Southampton just over a year earlier.
What a goal! That was difficult to see for Paul Robinson, and Lua has a chance to show off not just his shooting power, but his gymnastic celebration. And Harry Redknapp has seen his team take the lead here at White Hart Lane. Carrick takes it, and there it is from Ledley King. They couldn't open them up in free play, but a set piece has done the trick. And it's the captain who's levelled it at 1-1.
Coming from deep, across that near post area, just ducks in behind. Primus, who's had the injury, loses him for that split second. And that's all it takes, Ledley King, just to get up and get in front of him and guide that ball down into that bottom left-hand corner.
Here goes Reed into the wall. They're claiming handball, penalty. Portsmouth cannot believe it. Here goes Mido. And by the goalkeeper, it gets in. And Tottenham lead for the first time tonight. It's been very hard work for them. And this could be very cruel for Portsmouth. It's good work from Mido. Reed's cross. Defoe gets the better of Griffin and scores and makes absolutely sure for Spurs, and it means a great deal to the team, but it's very special for Defoe, who's been out of the team, out of the goals, but that's what he can do. And the rhythm here is one of upwards and onwards for Harry Redknapp. The fight is only just beginning.
Our next challenge was a mighty one against Middlesbrough at the Riverside. We were looking for our first win on Teesside for almost 10 years.
Reed rescues possession. Lee swinging it in towards Mido. And the goalkeeper lost it! And in! Schwartz's mistake, and Keane punishes him, and then celebrates in trademark style.
Watch the big goalkeeper, he's got plenty of time to come and gather that. Shouldn't be a problem, doesn't get there.
Southgate makes his way forward, yet to score this season. Came in towards him on the near post. Rochenbach still out there. Space for the cross, and surely a chance here. Oh, what a superb strike by Yakubu to bring Middlesbrough level. Morrison. Kubu's continued his run into the penalty area, and Morrison has other ideas. And what about that for a goal? An absolute beauty.
He dips past Dawson, slight defection off of Yakubu, but it's a terrific hit, Alan, with his left peg. I wonder if Big Yakubu will want to claim that.
Genus hits it, and they do get a goal out of it. 2-2.
We saw him do it at Old Trafford. Pop one past Edwin van der Sar earlier on this season.
Jermaine Genus scores his third goal as a Tottenham player, up in the northeast as well, ironically. Oh, against the bar now, did it cross the line? That's what the linesman's got to decide, and it looks as though the decision is goal, is it?
Yeah, it's definitely over the line. It is.
And a terrific header by Mido. It's 3-3. What a game.
Every year before Christmas, the players visit hospitals in the local area to deliver presents to sick children. Jermaine Defoe, Aaron Lennon, Mido and Paul Robinson were among the stars to bring a little Christmas cheer to Chase Farm Hospital in Enfield.
It's not a pleasant time for the kids to be in hospital. You know, it's never a pleasant time for kids to be in hospital, but especially over the Christmas period. And if we can make a difference in a small way, just by putting a smile on the face for maybe half an hour at the time we're here, you know, it's a big thing for us to do.
We'd already picked up 7 out of 9 points in December, but could we get the perfect Christmas present at White Hart Lane on Boxing Day against Steve Bruce's struggling Birmingham City?
Keane trying to get round Upson. Now, was he impeded? Yes is the answer. Penalty kick for Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, he gets too tight for me again. As a defender, Robbie Keane's lost the ball, and Matthew Upson's just too tight.
Doesn't miss many from the penalty spot, Robbie Keane. He did miss here in the win against Sunderland. It's Robbie Keane, it's 1-0 to Spurs. The Irishman continues his wonderful scoring form for Tottenham Hotspur. Back off the wall. In by Kilkenny. Mido away. Dunn and Yarashik got in each other's way. It's Spurs to break. Defoe. Trying to do it all himself. Oh! He's done it all himself. And in style. Jermaine Defoe wraps up the points for Tottenham.
He only has one thing in his mind when he gets a one-on-one against Kenny Cunningham. What a fantastic strike that was.
Our six-match unbeaten run came to an abrupt end against West. His celebrations made it a memorable night for the ball boy, but easily forgettable for us. 3 days later, we were back in action against Newcastle United. Jermaine Jenas started against his former club for the first time, while veteran striker Alan Shearer made his final appearance at White Hart Lane.
On by Mido. Can Tainio get there? He can, and he finds the net! His first ever goal as a Tottenham player, and the Finnish international has broken the deadlock.
Titus Bramble again just slips, but what an outstanding finish that is on his weaker foot. He concentrates, he keeps the eye on the ball, he goes across Shay Given. Titus Bramble should do better, but take nothing away from the finish.
Shearer. Owen still chasing. Got away with that there, Tottenham. Owen's hurt himself. So close to an equaliser. Instead, got himself a knock as he slid in with Robinson. Away by Lee. Fine. Given away to Davids, that could be a fatal error. Keane. Mido wants it far post. Davids, great challenge, double block. But the danger hasn't gone yet. Mido! It's 2-0 to Spurs!
Yes, it's a good finish, but how many times do Newcastle have to clear their lines? But there's no surprise that Robbie Keane's involved. They do ever so well here. It's a great block here. The ball's there. Now clear your lines. You haven't got to take the touch. Goes to Robbie Keane, puts in a great ball. Mido does the right thing. He hits it into the ground, and that's what does Shay Given. It just bounces up wickedly over Shay Given. He can't do a lot about this.
If they had a glimmer of hope of getting back into this game, it has surely just disappeared.
Our march towards Europe gathered momentum up at the City of Manchester Stadium, where Mido and Robbie Keane were able to exploit City's defensive frailties.
Stalteri. Distan's got that totally wrong, and Mido puts Spurs in front, and Sylvain Dista has made a defensive disaster here.
Great play, I've got to say, and determination and never say die attitude. And I think it's favouring Distant all the way. He then wants to let it run out of play, and he takes full advantage. And what a great spot to pick Mido out as well. Superb play from the young man.
And here's Robbie Keane, and that's surely Tottenham's game.
Yeah, that is game, set and match. It's a great finish.
The direct route.
Yes, to be fair, so he's gambled in behind Mido. He puts Distan under severe pressure. There's a little flick on. He's straight on it. Tremendous first touch. Takes it the right side of him. Sits up great on his right side. And then he really puts his foot through it.
Well, their two leading scorers have both delivered here.
Unfortunately, the rest of January was rather disappointing. We squandered a 2-goal lead against Leicester City to go out of the FA Cup. And then, despite an excellent performance at Anfield, we couldn't prevent Liverpool from winning their 8th successive home game in the league. Harry Kewell scored a stunning winner, his first in more than a year. At White Hart Lane, we made all the running against Aston Villa, but were denied by a stern defensive effort and several excellent saves from Thomas Sorensen.
Brown now, and yet again, Thomas Sorensen is absolutely superb.
And Carlos Bocanegra, a stoppage time winner for Fulham at Craven Cottage, completed our least successful run of the season. January also saw the club's executive director Paul Barber host a press conference to formally unveil the new club badge. It's a more elegant and proud cockerel designed to evoke memories of Spurs' famous past.
Danny Blanchflower once said, "The game is about glory. It's about doing things in style and doing things with a flourish." And our famous cockerel and ball has long since epitomised Danny's words. And over the years, though, through various tweaks and changes, our badge has become a little bit obscured by shields, lions, lettering. Today's new badge looks more like our old cockerel. It restores the former pride of the cockerel and ball symbol.
Years ago, we were already known for the cockerel, so I think we change it now, but I think it's symbolic for this club, the ball and the cockerel. So we put them together, and it's maybe a bit more simple, a bit more modern, but still with a classic influence.
Following the superb comeback at the Valley, we had the chance to secure our first ever double over Charlton in the Premiership. Danny Murphy watched on from the director's box, having signed for us from the Addicts just half an hour before the close of the January transfer window.
And here is Defoe, twisting his way, and the deflection takes it in. And Jermaine Defoe puts Tottenham in front with a slice of fortune, but it had been coming.
And now we see plenty of Jermaine Defoe makes a great little run. Now he has fortune exactly where he wants it. He twists and turns. They can't get close enough. He's a bit fortunate with the deflection, but his feet there are sharp. Look, again, dips back now, back onto the right foot. There's the deflection. Myron, no chance. Vitally important now that Charlton don't concede anything else.
Oh, Genus, chance, goal. What were you saying?
Too easy, John. Far too easy. Your centre-halves are dragged all over the place. Jermaine Genus makes a run. I think it's Chris Powell who fails to control it. Just there. And Jermaine Genus fires it past Thomas Mara. And now, all of a sudden, Charlton have real problems.
The fourth official has indicated there will be
maybe a possibility for Marcus Bence, and that was well hit. Very well struck, and Robinson was nowhere near it. Huddlestone and Defoe, and Charlton look for a flag, which doesn't come. And within 45 seconds of the start of the second half, Defoe has his second and Tottenham's third.
Ryderson it is this time who's conceded Defoe. I tell you what, it's close. It's a close one, whether or not he's offside. The linesman's flag stayed down. It's a cute little finish. It's too easy. It's far too easy. Huddlestone, good vision, just slides that ball through. Look at the room Defoe has got there. Far too easy.
Thomas. And Jerome Thomas pulls one back for Charlton.
It's a brilliant goal from Thomas. It really is. As soon as he gets it, he gets that Stalteri. Dips inside. He's got Genus as well in close contention. But it doesn't stop him from firing a brilliant shot to Paul Robinson's right, just inside the post.
And up goes to Ryderson. And Paul Robinson's not had a whole lot to do this afternoon, but when called upon, he was up to the task. And that should be enough to secure all 3 points for his team.
By mid-February, Sunderland were still looking for their first win of the season at the Stadium of Light. Jermaine Defoe kept his place in the starting lineup alongside Robbie Keane, while Mido returned from the African Nations Cup to join Danny Murphy on the bench.
And here's Defoe. Keane is in the middle. Here is Keane, he scores here. From a distance from which he couldn't miss. But the two little men up front for Tottenham this time cut Sunderland apart.
Lovely pass, making it easy for Robbie Keane to finish.
Collins still got plenty of height in his jump. Marker trying to influence the match in its latter stages from a more central position. Daryl Murphy chasing. And Stalteri's got a problem. He wanted the goalkeeper to come. Robinson didn't. And Daryl Murphy has got at least a draw here for Sunderland.
Stalteri won't be too pleased with his role in this situation. Gets out-muscled.
Tarek takes it. Passed away by Breen. Oh, miskick by Ledbetter. Huddlestone, and it's put over the top by Jermaine Jenas.
He's got it under control, he's just got to hit the target.
It's been a season of change and improvement at White Hart Lane, both on and off the pitch. The launch of a new badge was followed up by the announcement of a new kit supplier for next season.
It was great that we had a Kappa. They did really well for us, but I think it's great that we've got Puma now. They brought some money to the club, which is great, and it's a fresh feeling. We'll have a new kit, new logo and stuff. So hopefully we can maintain that and help it in next season.
At 23 years of age and an England international, Jermaine Jenas encapsulates the renewed vigour and youth surrounding Spurs. The midfielder has settled well into his new life since his move from Newcastle late last summer.
Moving from one way up there to way down here was massive. So, my sister moved down with me and helped me, in that department. I've got friends, family down there, girlfriend. I've got people down here that, can help me settle in. So, that part of it was pretty easy, and the fans were very welcoming. As the season's gone on, I felt like I've got better. So, hopefully more the same.
Jermaine has certainly played his part in our success this season, starting in 32 games since his arrival and scoring 7 goals. He shares mutual understanding and respect with the manager, which is helping his game to flourish.
He's a complete player, and he's always critical about himself, and that's a very good thing. But on the other hand, he's very positive. The first time when I played him against Charlton, I took him off after 70 or 80 minutes, and he was so positive. And we scored the winner, he was cheering, and then I knew that I had the right player, because it's all about mentality and attitude. And with Jenas, we've got the right player.
Jermaine began his career at Nottingham Forest as a trainee and has always been utterly single-minded in his ambition.
Speak to someone about this the other day. When I was at school and stuff, I remember people getting really nervous about their exams and that. And as much as I wanted to do well with my exams, it was just like, well, I want to be a footballer, you know what I mean? And so, as soon as I left school and went straight into as a trainee, that's where all of my energy went, into becoming a professional footballer. And Nottingham Forest helped me do that.
But his Forest career had barely begun when he made the move away from the City ground. After just 29 first-team starts, he signed for Newcastle United. In February 2002, Sir Bobby Robson paid £5 million for a player just 2 weeks shy of his 19th birthday.
It was great for me, because it was where I felt, I belonged and where I wanted to be, in top flight football, and I did play, a short number of games. I just bought, to be fair, a new flat in Nottingham, and I think I was in it for 2 weeks, and then I had to move out. It was very quick, and I really didn't have time to think about it. But it was a good move for me at the time. I just felt that I'd gone as far as I could with the club, and I just wanted to develop into a better player. you know, I look down here, you know, the players that they had down here, you know, the youth, and you know, with Martin as well. You know, I think, you know, the lure of what they could offer me was too much, and obviously I'm delighted that I made the move.
Wigan's first ever trip to White Hart Lane saw Mido return to the starting lineup and a debut for new signing Danny Murphy. Paul Jewell's side had continued to surprise the Premiership and were about to face Manchester United in the Carling Cup final. As early as the 10th minute, it was easy to see why.
Well, here's an opportunity for Wigan. A brilliant chance for the opening goal, and they've scored! Would you believe it? Andreas Johansson gets only his second Wigan goal. And are we on the cards for an upset at White Hart Lane?
And there's no question that Wigan at the moment are looking really to sit on this lead.
Stalteri's cross into the near post, Mido with a flick on, and Spurs have their equaliser. He's had such problems in recent weeks in the international side. Mido's back at White Hart Lane, and he's back in goal-scoring form. Number 10 in the Barclays English Premier League for the season. And it was pretty simple from a Spurs point of view.
Yeah, it was a clever flick. He just got in front of his marker. I think it was Deseo. But as I was saying, just as that ball came in, we're going to see some goals here today because Wigan have got an open approach to the game. They've got caught out there with a low cross. Mido's done cleverly.
Here's a chance for Wigan. Johansson to Kamara. Back into the path of Johansson! His second, Wigan's second, and they're back in front of the lane.
Incredibly easy goal, a simple one too. And look at that simple flick from Kamara. King should have been tracking Johansson. He's clear through. You can't blame Stalteri, the right back. He tries to get across to cover as Johansson strikes it with his left foot. Robinson, no chance.
Well, not many people would have picked out Andreas Johansson as a potential match winner. All suspicion of handball, Defoe's in! Instant reply from Tottenham Hotspur! Jermaine Defoe! The doom and gloom evaporates in an instant.
Quite incredible. Jackson went towards Mido, it came across Leighton Baines' body, and there's no one better given that opportunity of lifting the ball into the net. It was Deseo indeed. Came across his body, couldn't quite manoeuvre himself, and Jermaine Defoe lifted it over nonchalantly.
By March, the battle for Europe was really hotting up and every game was beginning to feel like a cup final. Blackburn were one of our key rivals for the UEFA Cup, and a win at White Hart Lane was vital if we were to keep one step ahead of them in the table. After the goalless bore at Ewood Park, this one turned into a thriller.
It's a good-looking ball. Mido pursuing it with Nelson. And the New Zealand international forced to concede the throw, which Mido has taken very quickly. Brilliant bit of skill by Keane. Brilliant! What a goal! Memorable! Robbie Keane with a wonderful individual goal and the celebration to match.
Look at the ability of Robbie Keane. He knows exactly what he's going to do. First, the touch past one defender, a brilliant cutback from another, and then he has the presence of mind and the composure to finish. That is a touch of genius.
Mido takes it, good save, and the rebound is knocked in. They have indeed doubled their lead, and so has the goal scorer.
Well, his first goal was touch with genius. This is about his ability to follow things in, because he reacts better, quicker than any other player on the pitch.
Well, Bellamy with a great ball in and a wonderful goal by Cinema Pongo. That makes up for his earlier miss.
It's a lovely move by the little forward to get on the outside of King, and while the marking's nowhere to be seen, and Pongo, having missed one a lot easier, plants ahead and it goes firmly past Robinson.
Well, maybe one of these set pieces will lead to a Blackburn equaliser. Bentley tees himself up. Oh, what a magnificent effort and a fantastic save.
It's a wonderful save by Robinson because the ball's moving and he has to stay with it and get a strong hand to get it away.
And there could be in here. Cinema upon goal, pulls it back to Bellamy! They are in, they've equalised, and my word, do they deserve to be level. When Pongo gets there, he has the presence of mind to pick out his strike corner. And that's a really clean, clinical finish by Craig Bellamy, and it was coming. You're not surprised. On the back foot here, though. It didn't last long, their joy. Mido on the end of Lennon's cross, and Tottenham Hotspur are in the lead again. Expose the pace of Lennon on the outside of Gray, and once he gets to Collins, he does ever so well with Aaron Lennon because he runs across the path of Michael Gray. There's the first touch. Gray can't get back there, and Mido somehow gets his foot to the ball and puts Tottenham back into the lead. There is the final whistle. Martin Jol and Chris Hughton celebrate along with 30-odd thousand Tottenham Hotspur fans. A win that will see them move to within 5 points of Manchester United now in 4th place in the Premier League table.
That victory was all the more important given that our next match proved to be another disappointing trip to Stamford Bridge. Michael Essien broke the deadlock with his first goal for Chelsea in the 14th minute. But on the stroke of half-time, we drew level when Michael Dawson beat Robert Huth in the air, and the ball bounced kindly for Jermaine Genus. With the final whistle looming, we look set to secure a well-deserved point, but we didn't bargain for this wonder strike from William Gallas in stoppage time.
Chelsea, that was maybe one of the biggest disappointments. We did ever so well, second half. And then we couldn't clear the ball, and it was an easy one. And he scored a marvellous goal, Gallas, but I think normally, you know, in the dying seconds of a match, you shouldn't give away goals like that.
Arsenal's win earlier in the day added to the pressure as we walked out for a 5:15 kick-off at St Andrews. But that was nothing compared to the strain Steve Bruce was under, with Birmingham stuck in the bottom 3.
Lennon now. Turns inside, he checked in field beyond Butt. It's a good ball with chances here, Tottenham! Oh, they were so close to taking a lead there in virtually their first worthwhile attack.
It was a good ball in. I think Robbie Keane should have gone towards the ball. He waited and Melchot just got that little challenge in behind.
It's a bit of a scrap. Oh, he's dragged down by Melchot, carries on. This is good. This might be Tottenham's opportunity. The ball in danger. Here's Lennon. Shooting chance. Aaron Lennon scores! Tottenham lead with Aaron Lennon's first goal for Tottenham Hotspur.
Well, he was as cool as a cucumber there, Lennon, when he took that ball. But awful defending once again. Out on that far left by Melchot. Subtle ball in, defeated Clapham. Lennon comes on his inside, hits it with his left foot. Lazaridis does as best he can to get to him.
The second half, a distinct improvement on the first, but that largely down to Tottenham's approach. They got their act together at half-time. Oh, he's onside here. Jermaine Genus can make real inroads, so he's pulled it across. Surely number 2. Tottenham are home and dry. I fancy Robbie Keane continues this goal-scoring streak against one of his favourite opponents, Birmingham. Keane's 11th of the campaign and his 2nd this season against the Brummies.
Well, I don't know where Clapham was really there. He was too wide. But it was a lovely ball in. Unstoppable. Perfect position, Janus. I think that's pretty conclusive.
And Tottenham are on the brink of recording a 5th away win of the season.
March was a fabulous month for Robbie Keane. As the new Republic of Ireland captain, he kicked off with a goal for his country in the impressive 3-0 victory over Sweden. He then celebrated signing a new 4-year contract with Spurs by scoring twice in our 3-2 win over Blackburn Rovers at White Hart Lane. The new deal ties Robbie to the club until the summer of 2010.
Happy to sign. There's been a lot of speculation over the last year or so, but I just wanted to put that to bed, and I've done that, and I'm looking forward to another hopefully successful 4 years with Tottenham.
Robbie was only 22 when he signed for us on deadline day back in August 2002. Despite his young age, he was full of experience, having already played for Wolves, Coventry, Inter Milan and Leeds. But at Spurs, he seems to have found a place he can call home.
Dublin is me home, but this is my second home, and you know, the people since I've come here from day one has treated me you know, very well, especially the people around, the staff around here, and the fans. So it's a club that I do feel that it's definitely a big part of my life.
Martin Jol has been particularly impressed with Robbie's leadership skills. He proved a fine captain in the absence of Ledley King this season and was understandably delighted to be handed the armband by New Republic of Ireland boss Steve Staunton.
I like responsibility, and you know, since when Ledley's been out, you know, the gaffer's made me vice captain, so you know, that's a great honour to be vice captain of such a big club as Tottenham. So yeah, it's always nice. You always feel good when you have the armband on. As any player, when you're a kid growing up, you always want to be a captain of some team, and I've been fortunate enough to captain Spurs a few occasions, and it's a great feeling.
Robbie has an incredible record against Midland sides, and his goal in the 2-0 win at Birmingham was his third in as many games for Spurs, keeping us firmly in the hunt for European football next season. West Brom were the next side to try their luck at Fortress White Hart Lane. Brian Robson's side had escaped the drop on the final day last season, but found themselves in a perilous position once again.
Fine ball by Watson, knocked on well by Kanu. Ellington maybe a bit fortunate to get that. I think he was going nowhere and about to lose control of the ball.
I think he was going down a cul-de-sac there, and he realised. You can see he over-touches the ball there, and that's not a foul for me.
Greening takes it, and a goal from Davis for West Bromwich Albion. 20 minutes gone. A sloppy Spurs start here, and that is a wake-up call for them.
Well, I said about his left foot crossing, and that's a lovely cross with his right foot, and that's sloppy marking in the Spurs defence. You can see Davis gets across his marker and guides it into that near post. That's sloppy stuff. A real free header in the area there. Gets up well, directs it well as well. And I think that's Dawson who's trying to mark him, and he's not really goal side at all.
He tries again. Mido! What a start that would have been to his evening's action.
Nearly the perfect start. And I think Kuszczak should have been out here. Rolls it down the side, and look how far that is. It's only 7 or 8 yards out. I think the defender thinks likewise, half stops. And Mido, I think, should be hitting the target from there. Drags it a fraction wide.
Carrick. Michael Carrick again. It's Keane, it's a lovely turn. It's a super equaliser for Spurs.
Well, that's a great pick of pass, Martin, isn't it, from Michael Carrick? Slid along the floor, and you know, to pick passes out like that is a great ability. Watch Carrick in the middle of midfield and watch the run of Robbie Keane. You can see Carrick picks it up. You see here, look, he knows straight away. All right on the borderline of being offside, but it still required great finishing. And he just chips it over. The outcoming Kuszczak just chips it over as he's anticipating a low drive, really. You can see he goes to the ground, anticipating a low one, and he dinks it up in the air.
There's a lot to fight for here in the last 3 minutes, plus added time. Oh, and Kuszczak. He's not out of the wood yet. It's going to be a penalty, is it, for pulling... well, it's a goal. It's a goal for Robbie Keane, but he's given the penalty, for Mido rather. He's given the penalty. And West Brom, right at the last, have had a catastrophic moment at the back. And Kuszczak is the man to blame.
Well, they're keeping the ball brilliantly, and then Robinson, why he has to go back to his keeper and back on his wrong foot, I don't know. But still Kuszczak, although it's on his wrong foot, he finds it very difficult to transfer to his kicking foot. He's too slow, Defoe closing down, and in the end it's a foul.
And it was a yellow card. No more than that. So here we are. 90 minutes, a very long time at this level. And it rests with Robbie Keane. And there it is. 2-1 Tottenham. Keane's 100th league goal in English football, but most importantly, it's the goal by which Spurs have surely beaten West Bromwich Albion, who have resisted so well. It's tough down at the bottom.
April started with a disappointing trip to Newcastle United, who were thriving under the temporary management of Glenn Roeder. Lee Bowyer struck with less than 2 minutes on the clock, and although Robbie Keane equalised 17 minutes later, we were always on the back foot after that. Shola Amiobi bravely restored Newcastle's lead in the 25th minute. And when Lee Bowyer was awarded a penalty for a foul by Edgar Davids, Alan Shearer marked his 300th appearance with a goal for his beloved club. Ironically, following that result, one of Newcastle's most famous supporters made a special visit to White Hart Lane. The Prime Minister, Tony Blair, was greeted by Martin Jol to celebrate the launch of a new initiative called Kicks, a social inclusion programme spearheaded by Spurs, Fulham and Brentford. Ledley King and Paul Robinson also joined Mr Blair on a tour of the stadium. A quick change into his sports gear, and Mr Blair swept along to the newly refurbished White Hart Lane Community Centre to learn more about Kicks from Tottenham Hotspur community coach Gary Broadhurst.
It's been a great opportunity for me to meet him, and have a chat with the Prime Minister also. So the clubs are always looking to help the community and do things around here, and this is another great initiative.
Jointly funded by the Metropolitan Police and the Premier League, Kicks will target some of the most disadvantaged 11 to 18-year-olds in the borough, helping them with football skills, fitness training, self-defence and CV writing. They'll also receive career advice and study support. Mr Blair proved to be a real sport when he showed off his skills in a ball control session.
It's a very good initiative indeed. I mean, basically these young kids have been given the chance not just to improve their sport, but to mix in together, to learn how to communicate with themselves and other people well, just to better be part of a team. And that's a very important part of also being a good member of society. And so I think it's really great that Spurs have got involved in this. And actually, interestingly, they tell me there are a few of the kids that they spot from these types of facility, and they've got a future at the club, so it's good news for everyone.
And the Prime Minister proved a hit on the pitch and a hit with the kids. After a bright start to the season, Manchester City had hit a bad patch and arrived at White Hart Lane on the back of a 4-game losing streak. Robbie Keane, who scored in the 2-0 win at the City of Manchester Stadium, partnered Mido up front in yet another must-win game for Martin Jol's side.
Lee Young-Pyo. That's clever. Keane off the bar. David James got a vital hand to that.
Great save. Perfect pass. Look at the space there for a striker. Super touch by James. No creative contribution so far from the right of City's midfield.
Mido for Tottenham to Keane. Robbie Keane. Fantastic footwork, but the follow-up is tucked in. And it's Paul Stalteri with the goal for Tottenham just a couple of minutes before half-time.
Well, I think it was a deserved goal. They have monopolised the possession. Once again, Thatcher making a mess of that one. Good ball by Mido, clever ball. And once Keane gets one-on-one, terrific save by the goalkeeper, but credit Paul Stalteri following up.
James with the cap in the second half to screen his eyes from the sun. That's a clever ball. That's a great ball! And it's goal number 2, and it's Michael Carrick.
When we see the ball come in, it's cleared high by Dunn. Poor header away. Lovely little touch inside there for Carrick. For once, Carrick really puts it away with a good, strong effort. Martin Jol celebrates.
You wonder whether Stuart Pearce might mix it up a little bit in this second half. Clearly just working out the permutations. But it's Distin's long throw! And it's Samaras who's got the touch. Stelteri, oh, and it came off Thatcher, and James with a reaction save. I think it might even have come off the post as well.
Had one of those afternoons that a goalkeeper enjoys, busy. Good break down the right. Thatcher tried to get in line with the ball, and I think it came off his chest. And James did well.
My name's Louis Townsend, and I'm here at the Spurs Lodge to interview Ledley King. Please take a seat. What age did you start playing football at?
What age did I start playing at? The first team I played for was a team called Senrab, and I started playing for them about 7. But my mum will tell you I was playing a lot younger than that. You know, around the house, always playing. You know, from probably when I just about started walking, I've been playing football. But my first team was about 7. So.
Who was you playing for when you were scouted?
I was playing in school, in the playground, and my friend's mum was a dinner lady, and she told her husband that I was getting quite good, so they took me over with their son to play for the team.
What age was you spotted by Tottenham?
I was spotted at age 14. I was at Leyton Orient before that. I went from my Sunday team straight to Leyton Orient at about 9, and I was there for about 5 years. And me and 2 other friends at the time came over to try it at Spurs, and you know, the facilities and the training was great, and you know, we loved that straight away. So at 14, I joined Tottenham.
What was your debut match?
Debut match was against Liverpool at Anfield. I was 18, and we was 2-0 up at half time. And Tarico, I don't know if you can remember that player. He used to play for Tottenham. He got sent off just before half time, and I come on at half time, and we lost 3-2 in the end. But
Who was your football hero?
I liked a lot of foreign players. I used to watch quite a lot of foreign football when I was young. There was a player called Van Basten. I don't know if you've heard of him. It's probably a bit before your time, but Romario. So he was a Brazilian player. When I was a little bit older, Ronaldo. When he was young, he was a great player as well. So.
What is it like being the skipper of the team?
Yeah, it's great. I'm enjoying it. You know, I've got a great bunch of lads here, and you know, I think I've been there the longest out of everyone. So, you know, it's a great honour for me to be captain of such a great club.
What does it feel like putting on a Spurs shirt?
Yeah, it's great. You know, when you're young and you dream of being a footballer. You know, and you know, I'm lucky enough to be able to do that now, and you know, the feeling's great every time you go out to the pitch. You know, you put your kit on, and get out on the pitch. There's no better feeling. So.
What did it feel like scoring a goal against your rivals Arsenal?
It felt good. Yeah, yeah. I've managed in the last 2 games at White Hart Lane to score against Arsenal. The first time, it didn't mean so much. You know, we was 3. I think we was probably about 4-2 down or something like that. So, you know, this season I scored and we went 1-0 up. So that one felt better at the time. But you know, hopefully I can do it again.
I've had a great time here at the Spurs Lodge. If you'd like the chance to meet your Spurs hero, why not become a JSM?
Up at Goodison, we faced a much improved Everton side from the one we beat at White Hart Lane. From rock bottom of the table, they were now entertaining thoughts of Europe themselves after an unbeaten home run in 2006.
Wait for Keane. Here's Robbie Keane. And the follow-up from Genius, but maybe the penalty's been given by Howard Webb.
I don't think that's a difficult call there for Howard Webb.
But Robbie Keane has been in superb form for Spurs. He scored 7 in his last 7 starts, make that 8 in 8.
Just tucks that inside the side netting. He made the penalty. He deserved to get his reward by taking it.
Keane trying to restore some order. And plenty of support. Defoe for Genius. Spurs are in. Great stop by Richard Wright. It was a wonderful save. Lovely football by Tottenham.
They're flooding forward here. He's got a pass in his left-hand side. Never going to take that option of Genius when he sees Richard Wright.
Well, a break of real quality and class from Spurs early in the second half. Oh, and it's a gift for Defoe after Naismith. He's got away with it, Gary Naismith.
I just wonder if he's trying to cushion that back with his chest and it comes off his face. It's another terrific save from Wright, who's out quickly.
Keane has got it too. Defoe one-on-one with Yobo. Defoe shot! Back off the bar. Spurs again so close to really settling it with a second goal.
Wants the football so well, just wouldn't come down quickly enough for him.
Looking more and more as though one is going to be enough for Tottenham.
But it came at a cost. In the last minute, Ledley King suffered a stress fracture to his 4th metatarsal and missed the remainder of the season. The visit of Manchester United saw Wayne Rooney score twice in the first half. The outcome could have been very different if Defoe's early chance had snuck inside the post within the first 2 minutes. Michael Dawson also had a good chance saved, but from the corner, United caught us on the counter-attack totally against the run of play. And when young Pyo Lee got into a muddle with his fellow South Korean Ji-Sung Park, Rooney pounced again for a decisive second. We pulled one back in the 53rd minute when Jermaine Genius capitalised on some woeful United defending, but it wasn't enough to prevent us losing only our 2nd home game of the season. On the 22nd of April 2006, Highbury hosted a North London derby for the final time. The fixture has always aroused plenty of passion between the two great rivals, but this one had it all. With one eye on their Champions League semi-final 3 days later, Arsenal started with Thierry Henry on the bench. Amazingly, they didn't have a single Englishman in their squad, but we started with 6, including Michael Carrick, whose performances this season had almost certainly booked his trip to Germany in the summer. It was a crucial fixture for both sides.
Keane, Lennon. Lennon has it back, and he slipped away from Senderos and put the best chance of the game so far wide.
Well, not sure if it's a cross, not quite sure if it's a shot. I think if it was, he should be looking to at least hit the target and make Lehmann work.
Here's Tainio. Lennon, archetypal winger. Keane. Carrick. Onside. Defoe! Right at Lehmann. Smacked him square in the face.
He stands strong, Lehmann, and let's give him some credit. I think Tottenham should be 1-0 up.
Robbie Keane. Trying to play keepy up here with Senderos. Down goes Tainio. The referee takes a studious look and waves play on. Pires. And that's a result of Davids, and the frustration was gnawing away at him. And the result is that he's taken out Robert Pires.
No attempt to get the ball.
Edgar Davids has just received his 10th yellow card of the season. Dawson's ball. Defoe. Davids. DRB had a little nibble. Here's Carrick. Gliding inside Gilberto. And past Toure, and Michael Carrick has a chance and finds only the side netting after a wonderful mazy run.
For the first time, he's probably driven on from that holding midfield role, drifted inside Gilberto, and then look at the way he just glides past Toure, takes on Lehmann, and, well, if anything, it's just the angle's a little bit too tight for him.
No doubt the Watching England coach will have noted that down.
Thierry Henry will replace Robin van Persie. And it's imminent. Gilberto van Persie onside! Gets the touch and pokes it wide.
Beautiful through ball, timing of the run's perfect. It's Dawson that tries to step up and he doesn't get there. And again, I'm going to credit Paul Robinson because he really does come out quickly. Doesn't quite get the contact he wants.
Now, here's the moment. Is this the pivotal moment of the afternoon? A double change. Fabregas and Henry for Diaby and Van Persie. Carrick. I just feel that if Arsenal don't win today, they're really going to have to win the Champions League if they're to play in it next season. Tainio, Robbie Keane for Tottenham, whilst Arsenal were reduced to 10 men, and Jens Lehmann has come out and is remonstrating with Edgar Davids out of your picture. You see it now, but you didn't see the meat of their coming together.
You watch the incident here, the two Arsenal players come together. I don't think Tottenham have a right to kick the ball out under those circumstances. Robbie Keane does what he should do, you stick the ball in the back of the net. If there was a collision between two opposing players, then yes, I think you kick the ball out. But if two teammates run into each other, well, I don't think Tottenham Hotspur away from home in full position.
Well, this game has exploded. Henry. Real test for Arsenal this now. Can't get away from Lee. Can get the ball into Reyes. Good save, Robinson. Reaction stop. Abui follows up. Only a goal kick.
Mark of a great goalkeeper, the concentration. Seemed to be going the wrong way, but got his hands to it. Parried the ball out from danger. To go down as a very, very good save again.
Adebayor's done well against Stelteri. Henry, chance, goal! Thierry Henry! There is still hope for Arsenal. And in all the years at Highbury, has this famous ground ever seen a player like him?
Adebayor does well. We talked about that outrageous skill. Well, this time he does deliver. And he just takes one touch and just guides it out of the reach of Robinson. It's an expert finish by a top-class marksman.
That's what they sent him on for, but they sent him on at 0-0, looking for a winner. What he's provided is an equaliser. Reyes. Floated just too strongly for Henry. Gilberto, Tainio, Davids. Oh, foul, Davids. He's got to go this time. He has got to go. Second yellow card. Tottenham reduced to 10. Edgar Davids sent off for the first time in English football.
And the moment he missed the first challenge and went for the second, he was always going to go.
Martin Jol, 2 minutes ago, must have been thinking about planning for the Champions League, and now it's all in the melting pot again. 20 seconds. Flamini. Here comes the goalkeeper. That's a mighty effective punch.
Brilliant goalkeeping yet again.
Steve Bennett has blown his whistle, and it is advantage Tottenham, and Arsene Wenger goes down the tunnel without even a sideways glance, let alone a handshake.
To be fair, they tackled each other, and Edgar Davids was already in that space, so I was focusing on that. They had still had 4 people win, would have made things easier for us. And the first half, I think we outclassed them. I think overall in this game, you know, we had 55% at Highbury of possession. So I think that didn't happen to them for the last couple of years. You know, go to Highbury, have more possession. But as I said, we only had 1 point. But we needed that point, you know, to be in Europe.
In little more than a year, Michael Dawson has gone from playing Championship football with Nottingham Forest to being courted as a future England centre-half. He's certainly been one of the first names on Martin Jol's team sheet this season after cementing his place alongside Ledley King in defence. And he recently signed a new contract that will keep him at the club until 2011.
The way things have gone since I signed, it's been fantastic, and I've loved every minute of it. Just playing in the Premiership and coming up against teams like Man United and Chelsea's. That's where I've always wanted to play since I've been a young lad, and obviously playing here at Tottenham, it's a massive club and they're going places. I think playing with Ledley, he's a fantastic player and a fantastic guy, and he makes it so much easier. Nothing phases him. Showed when he played for England, playing in front of the back four, he can do that job as well. But as I said, the players behind, obviously playing alongside, and obviously Robbo behind. If they get past us, they've got England's #1 to get past as well.
Michael was suffering from a shin injury when he signed for us in January 2005. He eventually made his debut 3 months later against Liverpool at Anfield.
Luckily enough for me, the managers just chucked me in out of the blue, really. I didn't play a reserve game or anything like that. We had a few injuries, and luckily enough for me, the gaffer had faith in me, and you know, we went there and got a 2-2 draw, which was fantastic from my point of view to get a debut and a great place to start as well.
Scholes, Rooney, delightful touch, Van Nistelrooy, brilliant block from Michael Dawson.
To go there and get a point, it's not about me or anything. That's what you get paid to do. You know, you've got to make them tackles. And as I say, I did, and we went on to get a point, which was great.
It's Forsell, great tackle. That was Dawson.
It was a tough game. We knew it would be going to Birmingham, and being 0-0 for so long. We thought, are we going to finally get a goal? And we did. And then obviously late on, he had the chance, and luckily enough for me, I got my big toe to it.
Michael was given the captain's armband by Peter Taylor when the England under-21s played France at White Hart Lane. His full England call-up is surely just around the corner.
I think when you play for England at any age, your sights are always set for the seniors, but you know, it's a hard test to become a full international, and obviously the players that are ahead of me, you know, I've got a lot of work to do, and you know, fingers crossed I just keep playing for Spurs and hopefully keep doing my job there.
Michael certainly had a job to do against Bolton, who were looking for their 7th straight league win against us. And it didn't help that Ledley King and Jermaine Jenas were both on crutches, Ledley with a foot and Jermaine with a shin injury.
Borghetti with a knockdown. Nakata! Inside of the post and out. Glorious opportunity for Bolton Wanderers. Here's Campo now.
Really good strike from Nakata. He's just hitting on the outside of the ball, and that's what just is taking it away from Robinson.
Gardner denied. Are Tottenham to be denied here? Oh, glorious! Murphy just wide.
You've seen what he's trying to do. He's just trying to get the right connection on this ball and just lift it into the top of the net. Gary Speed will say he had it covered.
Wonderful crossfield pass, which has brought in Lennon. Carrick. Oh, trying to replicate what he did at Highbury last weekend. Chance and a goal. Brilliantly done by Tottenham. Lennon has made the breakthrough.
Lennon gets the ball first and plays it into Carrick. And again, this is about Carrick's belief, and he drives. And he's got the poise and the composure just to look up and find Lennon, and this is where he's brilliant, this kid. He can find a yard of space, he's got lovely quick feet. And then he's got the ability just to feed it past the Ascot line, and what an important goal that could be.
4 minutes of stoppage time have been played. And where to have 4 minutes? Alan Wiley's taken another look at his watch. Vazte on the ball, but it's come too late. Aaron Lennon in front of the England coach Sven-Göran Eriksson has scored the goal, which ensures that Tottenham stay in 4th place. Look at the reaction from Martin Jol, the manager.
There were unprecedented scenes at full time as players and supporters celebrated our fantastic season. Aaron Lennon picked up the Young Player of the Year award for his outstanding contribution down the right flank. And Spurs legends Ricky Villa and Ozzy Ardiles joined the crowd in applauding Robbie Keane, who was voted the Members' Player of the Year. Skipper Ledley King then limped out to thank the fans for their tremendous support.
On behalf of all the players, all the staff, the manager and everyone, you know, we'd like to thank the fans. For us, they've been brilliant for us all season. They're the reason why we've done so well this season. Home and away, the support's been brilliant, and you know, we really appreciate it.
That left the fans calling for one man, the main man, manager Martin Jol.
Ledley said it, I think we always have a sellout, great supporters, best away support in England. So we are very grateful.
That support had helped us to our highest finish in the league since 1983. We picked up more points than any time over the past 19 years, and for the first time since 1951 went through a campaign without losing consecutive league games. Not a bad effort in Martin Jol's first full season in charge. On the morning of the final game of the season against West Ham, we were struck down by a mystery virus which affected several key members of the team. The lads bravely went out to battle, needing to match Arsenal's result against Wigan at Highbury to clinch 4th place. In the 10th minute, Cole Fletcher unleashed a fizzing shot from 30 yards. But Jermaine Defoe's expert finish against his former club gave hammered the final nail in the coffin 10 minutes from time. The result was particularly hard to stomach, but 5th spot in European football is more than most Spurs fans could have hoped for at the start of the campaign. We have the nucleus of a team that can mix it with the best in the Premiership, and after the announcement of our new shirt sponsor deal with internet casino group Mansion, one of the biggest in football history, we hope to strengthen the squad this summer. At the top of the table, Chelsea secured back-to-back titles, while Portsmouth's great escape means Birmingham, West Brom and Sunderland will be playing in the Championship next season.
We really believe that our team is the star, you know, that is the main thing. We always say we don't have any stars, but to be honest, of course you have players like Paul Robinson. Yeah, I think he was a big part of the team, you know, because every time when we were maybe a bit in trouble, you know, and had to defend, we dropped off, and sometimes you don't have to do that, and but that is experience as well. And he was there with his reflexes, you know, he's such a big personality in that goal. So I think, yeah, it really is a big bonus for us to have maybe the best keeper in England. Everybody's talking about him playing possibly for England, and he deserves that, you know, because sometimes if you see him play, he looks like a 28-year-old, you know, and he's got such a big heart, and that is important, that you've got young players who want to develop and who want to be part of our big club. He's a Spurs player, typical Spurs player. And you would love to have that on either flank, you know. We have got that on the right flank, so I'm very happy with him. And I think he can be better and better, because he was involved in 2 goals and 2 assists. And I think that is not enough. I think, you know, if he wants to be a big player, he must be involved in every game and be influential. And I think he's got the talent, and he will do that. When he's not playing, you always miss him, you know, because I think he gave exactly that what I had in mind, and that is a winning mentality and experience. I think you could say that Ledley is our role model, you know, for all the youngsters, the academy, all the young players who are playing for our club, from the under 6, under 8, under 10s, you know, everybody knows him. They know that he came through the ranks. And I'm very pleased that he will stay with us for the next 4 years. When I came here, the first thing I did was tell the people of the board that I wanted Chris as my assistant. And he was a fine colleague and friend, you know, and I think he helped me because it's not easy, you know, when you come to England and with foreign players, and of course you have to learn about all the English habits and the club, and Spurs is a different club, and Chris Hughton was a big part of this club for the last decade, so he was a big help, you know, and he's a very fine professional. And I think the turning point was a marvellous goal he scored against Aston Villa. You know, he was very motivated, he was angry with everybody, with me as well, of course. But that didn't matter, because he came on and he scored that goal, you know, and it was almost impossible. But I think he was so influential after that, you know, he was almost second to none, you know. He scored goals, he played on the right, he had to fill in positions, you know, with injuries, and then he played in the hole and on the left. So I think he developed, you know, in a real top player, I think. So maybe the members are probably right to choose him as the player of the season.